The all-new Mavic 3 is here, and today we're in sunny Hawaii to show you what it's like to film with the Mavic 3 and give you some tips when shooting with your all-new DJI Mavic 3. Breaking it down here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here with Drone Nerds. Today we're talking more about the Mavic 3. Just like I promised you, we've got the Mavic 3 remote, we've got the app, and we're ready to go. A couple tips that I'm gonna give you guys on how to create the most cinematic and the best looking footage with your Mavic 3. Right off the bat, one thing that I'm gonna suggest to anyone that has a drone, if you're gonna be filming with a drone, the first thing you should do is go into the DJI app. It'll say EV. The EV is the overall exposure value. One thing that I always do is I just go ahead and I put that to -3. So what that's gonna do is protect the image from being overexposed. When you open up the DJI Fly app, you'll have everything on there just like normal. You've got your settings down there at the bottom. Like I said, you can adjust the exposure value. You can also adjust the resolution. One thing that might be a little tricky for some people is how do you switch between the cameras? It's really simple. You go over here to the little binoculars, and well, you click on the binoculars, and now we are in explore mode, which will allow us to use the zoom camera. And one thing that I want everyone to understand is that 7x zoom is gonna be optical zoom. After that, it's gonna be digital. And then before that is also digital. So 7x zoom is gonna be your best setting when using the zoom feature. One of the new features with the Mavic 3 is the total 360-degree obstacle avoidance. It's got full 360-degree all the way around it, top, bottom, left, right, everywhere. It senses objects. So if you're flying around trees, you're flying around buildings and things like that, the drone itself is going to sense those before flying into it. So that's a huge benefit, especially for new pilots who are worried about crashing their drone. All right, so now you have your Mavic 3 in the air, it's flying. What do you do next? You've got two options here. You got the 5.1K wide angle lens that you can film most, wide shots with. But if you're really trying to get that dynamic, cool look and create foreground and zoom in and do some more dynamic shots, well, then you're gonna wanna switch over to the zoom lens. Today I'm using the ND4 filter on the Mavic 3. There's a little bit of clouds, it's a little overcast because the light really isn't that bright. Now, if it does get sunnier out, I might switch to the ND16 or even the ND32 filter to create that cinematic look, having that motion blur. But like you just saw with the wide angle 5.1K footage versus the 4K zoomed in camera, you can see the difference in the overall motion of the camera moving, the foreground. It really punches in and creates that cinematic look. So I'm always thinking about how can I use both cameras to their best abilities and be able to create the image that I'm looking for. And a lot of times I'm really kind of just jumping right into that zoom now. It's a very high-end cinema look, but at one point it was not possible to do it with most drones. You can't punch in and really get that cool cinema look. Again, having the versatility of the two cameras allows me to kind of change it up, do different things, and create a variety of shots. So, we're here, we've got this point, it's beautiful, but just to have one wide angle shot is not gonna look that cool. But now I've been able to create 3 or 4 different shots with the different cameras, and being able to move the Mavic 3 around so easily, it really gives you a tool to create lots of different angles and really capitalize off of the versatility of the Mavic 3 camera. Film this boat, and what I want to do is I want to follow this boat around, and I want to reveal the coastline in the background. So I'm going to start out by not showing the background, and then I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit more and then reveal that this boat is heading into the harbor here, and you can see the mountains, you can see kind of what is going on, creating a little bit of a scene as now people can see the boat. They can see the background and they go, wow, he's in Hawaii. Before, when I was filming the boat, at the beginning of the shot, all you could see was just open ocean. But now, you know that we're in Hawaii. So I've basically revealed what's going on in the scene by using the zoom lens and being able to follow the boat into the harbor here. Right out of the box, the Mavic 3 is ready to shoot amazing footage. You have the ND filters, you have the easy to use app, you have everything you need to do to create amazing cinematic footage with your Mavic 3 by using these tips. Lower the exposure value, use the different lenses, zoom in, zoom out. You can create multiple shots of a scene by using the Mavic 3 with the different cameras, and it really gives you more versatility as a filmer because it allows you to have ultimate creativity. If you guys haven't already checked out the Mavic 3 and you want to learn more, check out dronenerds.com. These babies are flying off the shelves.